Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. In today's video I'm going to share some valuable tips that help you level up your game whether you're a newcomer taking your first steps or a seasoned player aiming to reach new heights. These tips will provide you with the advantage you need to get into Masters and beyond. Now before I get into the video, I'd like to take a moment to share my journey to Masters. I recently hit Masters and floated around 1300 MR in Season 1 and I'm currently at 1420. It's something that I'm working on improving and I hope this video can help you as well. When the game initially released, I got Manon to Plat 3, then I switched to Chun-Li because I thought her combos looked pretty cool. I started off in Gold 5 and then over the next 4,000 games I was able to achieve Master rank. So just know, if you're a scrub like me, and there's nothing wrong with being a scrub, these tips will help you think about the game in another way. And with that, let's get into the video. So starting off with tip number 1, start with the basics, then increment in chunks. For example, this could be your combo routes, different Oki setups, or use of different normal buttons, which in turn will naturally change your neutral game. Ultimately, you want to slowly add more layers into your gameplay, giving you additional options to knowledge check your opponent and keep them guessing. So for example, here I'm in training mode setting up Ken to do his crouching medium kick into fireball. I'm moving back and forth just outside Ken's range and trying to whiff punish the dummy. I'm training two things: 1. Building my muscle memory, and 2. My consistency when walking into whiff punishing range, slowly improving this aspect of my neutral game. Try doing this with your character against the move you're struggling with. Tip number 2, learn matchup strategies. Following on from tip 1, understanding what buttons you can press when blocking or creating spacing traps where you can get a whiff punish will make your opponent think twice. Researching and analysing strengths and weaknesses of other characters as well as your own is a key to building up your understanding of the game, which will improve your defense against your opponent's autopilot. For this next example, I'm practicing anti-airing against Zangief and punishing with standing heavy kick into Chun's stance combo. I find this punish a lot easier against larger characters and rarely use it against other characters like Ryu or Ken. Similar to the previous example, I'm adding another option to my game plan. I've done this exercise against fireballs and notably JP's Ghost, which led me to being zoned out and made it difficult to pressure my opponents. Now I rarely get abused by fireball spammers. Tip number 3, study your opponent's habits. Observing what your opponent is doing and taking mental note of their playstyle. For example, is my opponent spamming fireballs? Are they empty jumping and drive impacting? Are they getting most of their damage from jump-ins? Using that information to your advantage and adapting your game plan to counter this will get you far and even put your opponent on tilt. In other words, you've got them downloaded. Bonus tip, studying what high-level players are doing with your character either through YouTube, Twitch or the in-game replay system can give you an idea of what you want to be doing in certain matchups. Note down what punishes, normal buttons and ranges they play at. This will greatly improve the way you think about the game and in turn, your win rate. You can reenact these scenarios or specific scenarios you frequently keep losing to in the training room. This will help you identify solutions against characters you're struggling with. Remember, always ask yourself, why did they make that decision? You can view replays for the main menu, Battle Hub or Fighting Grounds. Once there, press Start on your controller and navigate to CFN then Rankings. Press RB and go to Master Rate. Change the group filter to the character you want. Here you can see the top ranked players for that character. Next, select the player and go to View Fighter Profile, and then navigate to History and then add that replay to your list. Now that you have the replay added to your list, go to Replays, then go to Replay List. Select the replay you want to watch, then click Watch Replay. A quick side note, you can access your followed players from the Players section screen. This allows me to tailor the type of players I want to learn from. Once loaded into the replay, you have the options to pause the replay, speed it up or down, or go frame by frame. In-game replays allow you to see the frame data, damage information, and player inputs from the left and right part of the screen. If this is not switched on, you can turn these on by pressing start and turning on those features in the settings. I recommend pausing at different sections of the replay and thinking about what options both players have. Ask yourself, what would you do in this situation? Unpause the replay to see what they did, and then ask yourself again, what did they get out of that? Was it the most optimal? And what were the other options they had available to them? And that brings me to tip number 4, adopt a growth mindset. As stated in the previous step, watching replays and understanding the decisions you and your opponent are making and asking yourself, was this the right decision given the situation, will help you avoid tilting for too long as you know that this is part of the process. You'll be able to get out of plateaus and give yourself the chance to try new things without focusing too much on the win. From my experience with plateaus, I ended up getting stuck at the border of Plat 5 and Diamond 1 for a couple of weeks. I was getting frustrated that I wasn't able to push past that barrier. I kept going on losing streaks and sometimes winning streaks, but I never was able to consistently stay there. So I decided to practice new combo routes and ways of spacing myself, as well as watching my replays to see where I could improve. I took what I was practicing in training room to Battle Hub and Casuals before re-entering ranked. As soon as I did, not only did I stay at Diamond 1, but I ended up ranking to Diamond 2 in a few days. It may sound counterintuitive, but for tip number 5, you don't always have to play ranked. Playing longer sets by going into custom rooms with friends, playing casuals or going into Battle Hub will get you to think about your other options as the set goes on, and this is true for your opponent as well. I found this extremely valuable as this gave me the opportunity to test different strategies and practice new combos in a low pressure environment. Remember, your goal isn't to win by using the same tactic over and over, though this is an entirely valid strategy and can get you far, but it's to improve yourself as a player and giving yourself more options to cycle through in your mental stack. So when you go into ranked or even offline or online events, you'll be comfortable performing the optimal punishes and adapting to your opponent's game plan. A quick note on Battle Hub tournaments. I think they're a great way of training another aspect of your play, your nerves. Being able to execute your game plan under tournament pressure will ensure that you're less likely to fold when you're close to ranking up. My final tip is to join a community. Engaging with other players, participating in tournaments whether online or offline, and seeking feedback from these players far more experienced than yourself, or even just getting another person's perspective, can greatly enhance your skills, and it's quite honestly far more enjoyable when you're playing with a group of people. So going a few years back, during the beginning of Street Fighter V, I was practicing with people from the Street Fighter Discord, and I would play incredibly long sets with them. However, I lost contact with them, but with the release of Street Fighter VI, I was able to reconnect with one of them and meet them in person during one of the first offline events in London. After participating at Meltdown a few times, I ended up meeting an awesome group of people to play with. Now we have fun chatting and playing over Discord, and we share advice on how we could all improve. Also, participating in your local scene and seeing what competition is out there can be a real eye-opener. And there you have it, some tips to help you rank up in Street Fighter VI. Remember, practice, patience, and perseverance are the keys to success. Feel free to leave a comment on this video and I'll try my best to answer any questions you may have. Keep honing your skills, and with dedication, who knows, you might just be the next CPT champion. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with more Street Fighter tips and tricks. I appreciate your support, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.